All right, guys, welcome back. It's your old pal Lowball Norm, and we are here for some SICHL in NHL 22, where I take all the SICHL teams plus a few extra SICHL teams, throw them into NHL 22, and we're going to do a franchise mode. Now, last video, you got to see all the uniforms and logos and so forth, but now we're getting down to business. Right now, we're getting down to rosters, baby. I could not import the SICHL rosters. It's a whole mess. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I tried. There's no way for it to work. That's not insane. Okay, so we're not doing that. Okay, we're gonna do a fantasy draft. Totally fair, totally random. Even my picks, totally random. Okay, so I don't want to hear any crying. Now we're gonna do the fantasy draft. We're gonna kind of review maybe the first couple of rounds, and then we're just gonna sim the whole thing out, and then we'll take a look at everybody's starting rosters for the season. Now, obviously, there's going to be trades, there's going to be free agent signings, so these aren't set in stone. These are going to change based on how the computer runs things. But essentially, that'll give you a good idea of where your franchise is at the start of the season. All right, so let's get into it. Beautiful. Okay, now, once I hit the start career button, it is going to generate a list. The starting entry draft list is totally random. Okay, so if I push this button and Philadelphia is number one, I'm not cheating. Okay, this is totally random. Keep that salary cap on. Unlike the SICHL, we have a salary cap. Okay, I'm 6. Hey, that turned out all right. So here is it's a snake draft, I think, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. We have the Colonials, the Millionaires, the Spartans, Havana, which is now Florida, Whitehorse, which is now Yukon, me, Chicago, Hamburg, Las Vegas, Quebec, blah, 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 all the way down to poor Iceland down there at the end. But as I say, I believe it's a snake draft, so I think it's not going to make a difference. So I'm going to start the draft. It's going to pick automatically until my pick. And so we'll go back and review the first 5 picks. I'll do an auto pick, and then it'll just continue on that way. It'll auto pick until my next pick and so forth. So we'll just kind of review the first 2 or 3 rounds that way. Then we'll just let her rip. We'll just plow through, let it go, and then we'll just go through team by team. Okay? So we are going to start the draft now. Okay, let's go back and see what happened. Connor McDavid, no brainer. A first. Congratulations. You're now a Boston Colonial. Montreal Millionaires, very happy, I'm sure, to pick up Drysdale. Drysdale? Whatever, this guy. The pissy guy. Nathan McKinnon goes number 3 for the St. Louis Spartans. Austin Matthews headed to Havana. Nikita Kucherov picked up for the Huskies. Okay, so I'm going to make the pick. Okay, I don't want to actually pick. We're going to sim to user pick. Is it going to let me do this now? I thought I could just sim this pick without simming to... Oh, there we go. We simmed to the next pick. Okay, let's go back a little bit here. Let's go back. Let's look at the rest of the first round. Okay, so McDavid, Drysdale, McKinnon, Matthews, Kucherov. I picked up Vasilevsky. Okay, we're starting from the net forward, baby. Okay, Sid the Kid. Jack Eichel goes to the Gladiators. Vegas gets Hedman. Patrick Kane going to the Quebec Cannons. Oh, Brad Marchand to the Dublin Shamrocks. And we have Pasternak going to Calgary. Mark's probably in tears over that one. Panarin to Brandon. Cole McCarr to Edmonton Supersonics. That's a nice start. Connor Hellebuck for the Schooners. Fox goes to Express. That'll make Mark feel a little better, hopefully. Ovi to Portland. Very, very nice. Grunge pick up Barzal. Ekblad to the Bears. Mikko Rantanen to the Slammers. McAvoy to the Steelers. Kyle Connor to the Admirals. Barons gets Svechnikov. Heiskanen to the Cougars. Barkov to Banff. Mitch Marner going to the Vipers. Huberdeau to the Gremlins. Braden Point to the Monarchs. Aho to the Metropolitan. Matthew Tkachuk to Kansas City. DeBrincat to Victoria. And then Roman Josi to the Iceland Riders. Now let's check out round 2. I believe it's Snake. Yeah, so Kaprizov, Pedersen to Victoria, Scheifele to Kansas City. Quinn Hughes goes to Toronto. The Monarchs pick up Pietrangelo. Couturier. I'm terrible at pronouncing these names, guys. To the Gremlins. Lindholm to the Vipers. Jack Hughes to Banff. Stone to the Cougars. Sider to the Barons. Shabbat to the Admirals. Ryan O'Reilly to the Steelhawks. Lucas Raymond to the Slammers. John Gibson to the Bears. Hamilton to the Grunge. Werenski to the Buckaroos. Steven Stamkos to the Express. Oh, breaks my heart. Breaks my heart to see it. Shea Theodore to the Schooners. Oh, a dagger in the heart. All these wonderful, wonderful fire ants. Brady Tkachuk goes to the Supersonics. Carlson to the Wheaties. Stutzla to the Mustangs. Dahlin to the Shamrocks. Bergeron to the Cannons. Netchkach, is that how you pronounce it, to the Vegas? Lafreniere to the Gladiators. Oh, look at that. Starting young. Very good. Chicharin to the Tigers. And then we're going to sim to my next pick, and then we're just going to sim the rest of the draft, and we'll go through them. Okay? Really, once you get into like 4th round picks and stuff like that, who knows what you're going to. Okay. All right, let's check out the rest of round 2. Okay. Who did I wind up picking? Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Stop. Anze Kopitar. Okay, that's all right. I can deal with that. Kopitar is all right. I would have rather had like Lafreniere, but that's okay. Listen, beggars can't be choosers. It's still a good pick. John Tavares to the Huskies. I feel like Don would like that. Morgan Riley to the Revolution. Darnell Nurse to the Spartans. Patrick Laine to the Millionaires. Oh, I did I get Patrick Laine from you? And William Nylander to the Colonials. Okay, we got some round 3. We'll just see what's okay. Gerard to the Colonials. Sergachev, Robertson, Tuukka Rask to the Revolution. Dylan Larkin. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to sim the rest of the draft, and then we're just going to go through everybody's rosters. Because listen, we want to skip to the end. The end part is what team have I put together here, okay? So we are going to sim the entire draft. My Xbox is going to think hard here for a second while it's doing this. Draft is complete. Here's who I picked up. I'm gonna wait. I'll see these guys. I don't want to ruin the surprise, so I'm gonna see these guys in my edit lines roster. So we're gonna view lines, and we're gonna take a look at everybody's team. Okay, so here we go. The Grizzly Bears. Josh Bailey, Kuznetsov, Meyer. That's not a bad starting lineup there. Radulov, Kukunin, Gurianov, Parkins. I'm not even going to try. Yegor. Tom Wilson. There you go, that old goon. Sinishin, Stevens, Kamano. And on defense, we've got Krug, Ekblad, Nick Leddy, Travis Sanheim, Logan Stanley, and Shane, you got to be here. There we go. And in goal, we have Gibson and Casey DeSmith. That's not a bad tandem there. That is not a bad tandem at all. Okay. We're going to go back to offense, and we are going to go to Banff or Alberta. Olofsson, Barkov, Pavelski. Oh, say it ain't so. Joey Franchise. Oh, okay. Silverberg, Miller, Hyman, Tatar, Hughes, Lawton, Sturm, Merkley, Janikowski. On defense, Giordano and Spurgeon, Ekholm, Martinez, Riley, and Carlson. And in nets, Robin Lehner and Mike Smith. There you go. Next up, if you don't like your rosters or if you love your rosters, comment below. I actually don't care if you comment, but anyway. Amsterdam. We've got Connor Reinhardt Schwartz, Brat Verhage Yamamoto, which is fun to say. Beckman, Dickinson, Appleton, Barboulay, Bastian, and Kaut. That's not a great lineup. That's a fast drop off as far as I'm concerned. Let me see. Maybe they're stacked on defense. Shabbat, Dumba. Oh, you know what? Alexiev, Kulak. I think Amsterdam might have got a little screwed here, unless we've got two super goalies here. Who do we got? Okay, Carey Price. So that helps. Then what's that? Okay. You got Carey Price at least. That'll help. That'll help. All right, next up, the Boston Colonials. Robbie Fabry, Connor McDavid, and William Nylander. McDavid to Nylander. That's gonna be a problem. Texier, Nugent Hopkins, and Holtz. Brandon Tanev, Blake Coleman, and Lowry, and then Costin Dahlin and Allison. I get mixed up with that accent aigu. That's a weird accent aigu. Dahlin? Anyway. On defense for Boston, Girard, Ethan Bear, Alexiak, Lindgren, Keandre Miller, and Robin Salo. And in goal, Jari and Knight. Could be good. Right now, a little mediocre. I'm gonna say that's a little mediocre, but that's got some potential. All right, next up, the Brandon Wheat Kings. Kishier, Fiala. Is it Panarin or Panarin? I should know this. I'm a hockey guy. I should know this. Okay. Velarde, Iafallo, Kaliev, Gru, Rask, Rad. This is basically turning into Norm mispronounces hockey player names. The stream. Mason McTavish, Liam Foodie, Nick Robertson. Okay, nailed those ones. Nailed them. Letang Carlson. Oof. That's pretty tough. Bean and Bernard Docker. Whoa. Jack Rathbone and Sami Niku. Wow, we dropped off a cliff on that. We dropped off a cliff there. Yikes. Goalies, UC Saros and Eric Comrie. All right. That defense maybe is a little on the top-heavy side, I think. The Brno Barons. Stevenson, Horvat, Svechnikov, Kubalik, Monahan, and Kako. Bennett, Enrique, and Smith, Kupari, Freddie Goetz, and Cole Lind. Okay. On defense, Orlov, Parayko. I don't know. That's this guy. This guy. You know this guy. He's good. Dahan, Sider, Bjornfoot, and Chris Tanev. And in goal, we have Cal Peterson and Braden Holtby. Again, not fantastic. Not fantastic. They might be in the market for a starter, for a legit starter, but we'll see. Calgary Mustangs. Palat, Schmaltz, Pasternak. Hoffman, Stutzla, Mercer. Nick Ritchie, Jordan Stahl, Dylan Cousins. Oof. Bunting, Rutzika. This guy, Vasily. Okay. On defense, Lindell Klingberg, Travis Dermott, Dante Fabro, Matt Waugh, or Roy, I don't know, and Sean Dursey. Goalies, we got Binnington and Copley. All right, who's next? Next, we have the Chicago Tigers, Teravainen, Sid the Kid, TJ Oshie. That's a good first line. Pacioretty, Trocheck, Killorn. That's a good second line. Zingle, Gagne, Sheary, Grunston, Patrick, and Mikey McLeod. Chychrun Carlson, solid. Myers Severson, solid. Johansson Hall, less solid. And in goal, Shesterkin and Ranta. Okay, Chicago's got a pretty decent team there. I'm liking that. The Dublin Shamrocks, Brad Marchand, Nick Suzuki, Kevin LeBlanc. Okay, Johnson, Thomas, Tippett, Boone Jenner, Nick Cousins, and Julien Gauthier. And Lucas Elvenis, Shane Bowers, and Raphael Lavoie. We're kind of dredging things up on that fourth line, but that's okay. Pellick Savard, Dahlin, Broden, Johnny Merrill, and Marcus Pettersson. Oh, one former Fire Ant, one current Fire Ant. And in goal, we have Jack Campbell and Dan Vladar, another Fire Ant. Oh, I'm jealous. Jealous. You've got all my scrubs. All right, next up, the Edmonton Supersonics. Gunsel, Giroux, Wallstrom, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Brady Tkachuk, and Andre Kasha. Tierney, Robinson, Kravtsov, Neighbors, McMichael, and Middlestott. Forsling, Makar, Murray and Merkley, Joseph, and Lassie Thompson. Swayman Lindgren. Well, I think you're definitely gonna be in the market for a goalie. I think the Sonics are definitely gonna be pitching a few trade offers, I would imagine. Okay, next up, the Havana/Florida Revolution. Taylor Hall, Austin Matthews, Phil Kessel, Phil the Thrill, back with Austin Matthews. Very nice. Andrew Kopp, Villiers and Eberle, T.S. Janmark, Troy Terry, and Garnet Hathaway, and then Charlie Coyle, Logan Brown, and Cody Glass. On defense, Morgan Riley and Adam Larson, Ben Shearut and Ryan Graves, and then we've got Anderson Brook for that final pair. And on goalie, Tuukka Rask and Aiden Hill. Pretty good combo. That's a pretty good combo. I think overall, they are going to be happy. Okay, the commish. Who does he get? He gets Buchnevich, Stamkos, Ehlers, Wood, Sorelli, and Jarvis, Milano, Sillinger, Sissons, Perlini, Delandria, and Reedy. Wow, yikes. That's not great. That's a good first line, and then yikes-a-roni. San Francisco treat. Okay. Defense, Roenick, Fox, Zub, Myers, Samuelson, I'm telling you, man, this is not great. Who we got in goal here for the old Fredericton Express? Bobrovsky and Kakkonen. It's not bad, but I think there's some depth work to be done by the commish on that one. Next up, the Grand Prairie Gremlins. Huberdeau, Malkin, and Forsberg. That's a great first line. Duclair, Couturier, and Taves. That's a great second line. Foligno, Cracknell, O'Connor, Smith, Heinen, and Formanton. Not too bad. That's not a bad little roster there. Ekman, Larson, and Burns. How's that for a top pair? With Weber on the second pair. Jeez. Gustafson, and then Caleb Jones and Trevor Carrick. And who the heck is in goal for this team? Allmark and Dell. All right. Keep an eye on the Grand Prairie Gremlins. That's like a tongue twister. Grand Prairie Gremlins. Say Grand Prairie Gremlins. Grand Prairie Gremlins. Say that 10 times fast. I dare any of you. Dare any of you to do it. Okay. Next up, the Hamilton Steelhawks. Johnny Gaudreau, Ryan O'Reilly, David Perron. We got Ben, Strom, and Atkinson on the second line. Solid. Cahoon, Barbashev, and Palmieri. And then Asplund, Glenchuk, and Luff. On defense, McDonough and McAvoy, very good. Yandel and Petrie, very good. And then Shattenkirk on the third. Xavier Ouellette, that's a solid. Top six there. Well, solid top five and plus Ouellette. And who is in goal? Freddie Anderson with Eunice Corpusalo in the back. Okay, that's look at that. Okay, Hamilton, a team to watch in this league. The Hamburg Gladiators. Vrana, Eichel, Kokechny, Lafreniere, Gourde, Lafreniere and Zegras and Jack Eichel. Oh. Janssen, Sundqvist, and Stenlund, and then Rasmussen, Jones, Jeannot. On defense, Noah Hannafin and Brandon Carlo, Romanov, Mayfield, Lauzon, and Cal Foote. So definitely some work to do on that defense. That's you're missing like your top two D guys. This should be your second pair, I would think. It's not a bad second pair, but not a great first pair. Oh, we got to check out the goalies first before we move on. Thatcher Demko and Big Save Dave. Iceland. Kaprizov, Shen, and Mantha. Brock Nelson, Thomas Hurdle, and Jack Roxlovic. Sanford, Gaudette. This guy, Drake. DeBrusque, Bellows, and Gregor. I could... Kagula. Defense, Roman Josi and Rasmus Ristolainen. That's pretty good. Jake McCabe and Rasmus Anderson cornering the market on Rasmus's. Victor Mete and Nick Juleson on there on the final pair. And then in goal, we have Jacob Markstrom, Samuel Montembelant. Okay, Markstrom, very good, obviously. Be happy with that. Who's next? The Kansas City Crunch. Kachuk, Scheifele, and Zucker. Well, it started off good and kind of, Zucker. Athanasiou and Kotkaniemi. Adam Ernie. William Eklund. Mikheyev, Tomasino. Okay, some good young guys here at least anyway. In Kotkaniemi and Eklund. That's not too bad. And then Rossi, Senni, and Aturati. Another good, potentially good young guy. I mean, he sucks right now. He's 67 overall, but potentially good. Jacob Slavin, Connor Murphy, McNabb, Byram, Matheson, and Larson. Okay, Bowen Byram again. Looking good for the future, but maybe not this year. We'll see what the goalies are like. Philip Grubauer and then Nico Dawes. Oof, I think you definitely need a backup there. But, all right. A decent young lineup. The London Monarchs. The Kings. We have Marchessault, Point, Niederreiter, Farabee, Peugeot, Connor Brown, Scheidel, Max Domi, Casey Zekas, Benson, Howden, and Entwistle. On defense, Suter, Pietrangelo, Provorov, Brody, Brady Ski, and Cale Fleury. That's not a bad. That's a pretty good top six, I would think. It's all right. Got to be happy with that. And in goal, Darcy Kemper and Jesper Wallstead. Jesper Wallstead in this game, I think, is an elite level prospect. So that's a positive. All right. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Aces. We've got Anders Lee, Logan Couture, and Brock Besser on the top line. Paula, Netchkash, and Kirby Doc. Yarncroc, Kunin, and Dubé, Yalonen, Hepaniemi, and Moore. On defense, Victor Hedman and this guy, Nutavara. Smith and Nils Lundqvist, one of my faves. Nick Hague and Brendan Dillon. And in goal, Jake Ettinger and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. The most fun name to say in the NHL. I'm going to call it Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. It's fun. It brings a smile to your face. All right. This pairing does not necessarily bring a smile to your face. That 3 years into the sim, this is gonna bring a smile to his face. But right now, not so happy. Not so happy. All right. What else we got? Let's go back to the starting lines. And we have the Montreal Millionaires. Here you go, Kasim. Eli Tolvanen, Leon Draisaitl, and Patrick Laine. Donskoy, McCann, Comfer on the second line. Kraus, Perfetti, Hosang on the third. And Kachuk, Anderson, and Denisenko to round things out. And on defense, Sergachev, Marino. I saw all the Evs and I got mixed up. Zadorov, Soderstrom, Rasmus Sandin, and Kalinick? Could be. In goal, Carter Hart, Alexander Georgiev. Next up, we have the Nova Scotia Schooners, Brendan Gallagher, Nick Backstrom, and Oliver Bjorkstrand. We have Kerfoot, Kadri, and Arvidsson. Fogel, Vaska, and Anderson, and Frost, Peterson with Connor Bunneman. Also kind of a fun name to say. Defense, Shea Theodore and Chernak, I think, actually. Uyghur and Edmondson, and then Zach Jones and this guy. Connor Hellebuck, Caden Primo. Nice. Nice. I think Eric will be broadly pleased. The Ottawa Slammers, we have Zuccarello, Hintz, Rantanen, Drouin, Wenberg, and Lucas Raymond, Lehkonen, Lundell, Kapanen, Pitlick, Paul, and Thompson. And then on defense, Clefbaum, Pesci, Mata, Dobson, Cam York, and Yanis Jerome Moser. Might want to look at a better number 6. And in goal, Samsonov and Murray. The Portland Buckaroos. Ovi, Zabinajad, Rickard Raquel. That's not bad. Like an Ovi and Zabinajad. Then we got Batherson, Kempe, and Nikolushin. Also good. Suter, Getzlaff, Balsers. That's not bad. My man, Zemgus Girgensons. Another fun name to say, with Lars Eller and Jonas Rondberg with the Swedish O. On defense, Werenski, Ellis, Fowler, Gardner, Mahura, and Addison. That's not too bad. And in net, who do we have for Portland? We have Ilya Sorokin and Jake Allen. Okay. The Quebec Cannons, they get room cancer. Evander Kane, Patrice Bergeron, and Patrick Kane. Oh, they are sporting double Canes on that top line. That's dangerous. That is a dangerous top line. Pearson, Carlson, and Riley Smith. That's a good second line. Nicholas Waugh, Philip Dano, and Frank Vetrano. That's not a bad third line either. And then Donato, Pinto, Blickfield. On defense, Schmidt, Pionk, Dumoulin, and Drysdale, Butcher, and Hag. That's not so bad. Drysdale should be good down the road. And in goal, we have Mackenzie Blackwood and James Reimer. That's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. If Quebec were still an actual team and someone cared, they would be very happy. The Seattle Grunge, Tyler Bertuzzi, Matty Barzal, and Gustav Nyquist on the top line. Then we have Tuuk, Zaka, and Rust. We have Blaze, Backlund, and Hartman. Rutsalainen, Gambrel, and Armia. Rounding things out. And on defense, we have Killington, Hamilton, Hayden Fleury, and Pollock, Ben Hutton, and Piquet Subban. In goal, Dredger Francouz. 1A, 1B. Pick your poison. I think one of these guys is going to get traded. That's my guess. But listen, the computer acts in strange ways. Who knows what they're going to do? The St. Louis Spartans get Jason Robertson, Nate McKinnon, and Kyrou on the top line. We have Sad, Norris, and Anderson on the second line. We have Greenway, Bluger, Patan, and then Ranta, Lundestrom, and Dorofiev. Don't even know who that is. Okay, defense. Darnell Nurse and Jacob Trouba. That's a good starting pair. Eric Johnson and Justin Falk. Cody Cece and Zaboral. That's not a bad starting six. That's all right. That's workable. And in goal, we have Vanacek and Huso. You might want to get yourself a better starting goalie. We shall see what they do. Almost there. Stockholm. Keller, Eriksson, Ek, Stone, Comtois, Byfield, Chinikov. Oh, man, we're getting Maltsev, Kurashev, Poling, Foot, Weatherby, and Veleno. Wow. Yikes. You have 4 decent forwards. You got 1 good forward. You got 2 good forwards, 3 good forwards, 4 tops, and then Quentin Byfield will be good, but immediately he's not so much help. But yeah, the rest is a little yikesy. What do we got here for Stockholm? Heskinen, Manson, Morrissey, Walker, Hajek, and Lajoie. And in net, we have Mrazek, Middlejovic. I can't pronounce that guy's last name. That guy. Toronto gets Van Riemsdyk, Aho, and Tarasenko. Mangiapane, Granlund, and Toffoli. Jost, Ryan Johansson, and Joseph. Lafferty, Gustafsson, Hinestroza. That's not a bad top 3 lines there, I gotta say. On defense, Quinn Hughes, obviously a good start. Schultz, Lindholm, Montour, Ataka, and Stetcher. And, in goal, we have Marc-Andre Fleury and Malcolm Subban. So, okay, that could cause a little damage. That'll help. The Vancouver Vipers. Zadina, Lindholm, Mitch Marner, Burakovsky, Dvorak, Kreeder, the other Nylander, Strom, Sherwood, Sorella, Frederick, and Leeson. And on defense, Muzzin, Jones. Forget it. Pick a vowel. You can't have one vowel. You can't have one vowel in a name that long. Matt Grzelcyk. Come on. Eric Branston. And then these 2 guys. And in goal for the Vipers, we have this guy, Elvis, and Jonathan Bernier. The longer this goes, the worse my pronunciation is getting. Okay, we have the Norsemen, Dadonov, Sagan, and DeBrincat, Pedersen, Nemesnikov, and Cole Caulfield. Very good. Kevin Hayes, Boldy, and Patrick Hornquist. And Vesalainen, Borgstrom, and Josh Bailey. That's not so bad. That is not bad at all. On defense, Devin Taves and Boquist, Siegenthaler, Bouchard, Yokiharu, and Thomas Harley. The defense needs some work. The defense definitely needs some work. Who we got in goal? We have Varlamov and Casa. Okay, and last we have, well, I'm last, but now we have Dawn, Connor Garland, John Tavares, Nick Kucherov. That's a solid top line. Hoglander, Larkin, and Puljujarvi. Not a bad second line. Lindblom, Steele, and Colin White. And then we have Koivula, Hendrix Leperriere, and Christian Fischer. On defense, we have Ferraro Miller, Dunn Gavrikov, Baudin, and my man, snake-bitten Connor Timmins. And then we have Lankinen Stolars, not fantastic, in net. Okay, that's all of your teams. Now, more importantly, let's take a look at your Philadelphia Fire Ants. Okay, this is the team that we're going to be following the whole year long. We're gonna take a look at all the rest of years. Okay, but this is the main deal right here. Okay, let's see what the bad news is. Probably. Let me see. Okay, get out of here, head coach. Okay, Landeskog, Kopitar, Blake Wheeler. Happy with that. Matt Duchene, Brandon Peary, Voracek, that's okay. I mean, Peary, we need a little work on the left side, I think, here. Morgan Geeky. Oh, thank God I got a Geeky. Sprong and Svechnikov, Anderson, Dolan, Hayton, and Marotti. Okay, so top line good. Second line needs a little work, but vaguely good. And then it starts to drop off a bit after that. So, but, listen, I'm happy with Landeskog, Kopitar, Wheeler. That's pretty good. On defense, Tyson Barrie, Drew Doughty. Solid. Tony DeAngelo and Cholowski, Bowie and Peak. Okay, some work to be done there towards the bottom, but I'm happy with that. The top three are pretty good. And then, oops, nope, that's not what I meant to do. That's going down to my minor league system. I want to see who I got in goal. Vasilevsky, Michael Newirth. This is great. Vasilevsky is a monster. He's a beast. He's 93 overall. That's gonna listen. That's gonna wallpaper over quite a few holes in the old lineup there. Let's put it that way. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not gonna do this for everybody, but I'm just gonna take a quick peek at my AHL roster and see who we have down here in the minors. It just kind of fills it up with junk for the most part. So yeah, I can see a lot of junk in here. Nobody's jumping out as that's some nice flow going on there on the old hair Dimitri though. Pretty impressive. Nothing to write home about. But yeah, there we go. That's the rosters, guys. So what we're going to do... Hang on, let's go back over here. So the plan is, what we're going to do is we're going to go through free agency and so forth, and we're just going to start playing some games. We're going to start simming through the games. And I was trying to think of how I'm going to run it, so I'm going to try and think of maybe some ways to kind of restrict it or make it fair for a little for a bit. So we'll go over that in the next video. But next video, we are going to start looking at simulating some games. I might just skip through I won't bore you with the free agency stuff. It gets a little mundane. So we'll do the free agency stuff, and we'll dive in. We'll sim games. You guys can see some of this in action, and we'll take it from there. So let me know who you thought was the best roster, who came out the worst out of that fantasy draft. I could think of a couple of off the top of my head for both of those. I think I did pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how things came out. And we'll have to see how I screwed this up. Because, of course, I'm going to. All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.